Welcome back, everyone, to Coffee Unlimited with J and D. I'm Janelle, and I'm here with my co-host Danielle. And if you've been following us for a while, you may have heard that we are approaching the end of season one of this podcast. So we are here to celebrate this past year, celebrate this season, reflect a bit on the year. We have our festive clothes on. If you are catching us on YouTube, we are dressed up today. And we also have festive drinks because it's December, it's the end of the year. Danielle, I have to tell you, I know you have a hot toddy, right? I can
Hmm.
see that steam. I can smell it from here. I'm so excited for you. I decided to open a bottle of rosé, and Carl's not here, and he's usually the one that opens bottles with corks. So I had a heck of a time in there trying to get this cork out. I broke the cork halfway through. It
Oh
was
no.
on the kitchen counter right now. There's about 70 pieces of cork. The first glass I poured had a bunch of bits of cork. So probably throughout this episode, I'm going to be spitting pieces of cork out. But that's okay. We're powering through. And you know what? I'm not going to, it doesn't bother me at all, but it's pretty funny. So if you do see me pulling stuff out of my mouth, it's just the cork
The cork tastes
because,
good, right? Like it's natural. I like it. It fits.
and I love your dress. You said you got it at Anthropologie.
Yes, I
Because
did.
that's my new favorite place. That is my absolute new favorite place. And that looks gorgeous on you. It's a really nice color.
Thank
Really like
you.
it, like a burgundy. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I'm so like my wardrobe is pretty much black, gray, and white,
Mm.
and maybe
Mm-hmm.
some brown.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I want to just mix it up, get a color. So they did have this dress in black, but I was
Mm.
proud of myself to go for the red or the
Look
burgundy.
at you. Look at you.
Right. And you look beautiful, Janelle. I love this
Thank
green
you.
and cream.
Yes.
Like it's so festive.
Yes, I'm wearing a green dress for the holidays. I will say I am wearing leggings, like Lululemon leggings under this and a sports bra. So I'm only like partially in on this on this dressing up bit,
That's okay.
but I'm comfortable and this is really fun. So thanks for the idea to kind of end the season on a celebratory note. You mentioned before we popped on that you have been reflecting on this past year a bit, and I'm really curious, what have you been reflecting on? What is coming up for you? I have a lot that I've been reflecting on as well, but I do want to hear from you first. What are you reflecting on? What are you bringing into the new year? What are you changing?
Hmm. Well, first of all, I come back to like what were some of the goals that I set for myself at the beginning of the year. And one of them was to have my shitty first draft of my book, my self-help memoir. I was like, it doesn't need to be in any kind of published edition, but I just want to have something. And I don't have that.
Hmm.
And I started to reflect back on how I've been spending my time. And I recognize that comfort and ease are such a priority for me. And I think
Hmm.
that's fine, especially since both of us we left our corporate 9 to 5 or whatever it is,
Hmm.
8 to 6, whatever those hours were. But we left about a little over a year ago,
Hmm.
right, or a year and a half ago. And I do think that it takes some time to just process leaving that and creating space for your nervous system to just rest. So I don't think that I'm not an advocate of like, as soon as you leave your job, just go for it, pedal to the metal type. Like, I think
Yeah.
prioritizing comfort and ease is very helpful. But I think I've been prioritizing that too much for too long.
Mm.
And I don't have my shitty first draft. And at this rate, as you were saying, I'll be 80 by the time I finish
If
this
you keep this
self-help
pace up.
memoir. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at getting a little bit more discipline. So leaning into some discomfort instead of thinking, I don't really feel like going in front of my computer or not even just the book, but like even marketing, doing the
Mm.
social media posts. My daughter Blanca keeps telling me it's all about consistency. Like, don't
Mm.
worry if people aren't liking it or nobody's commenting, no one's engaged. It's just about showing up every single day. And she even said that about our YouTube channel too. It's just like show up on a consistent basis. I'm like, wow, okay, thank you, marketing expert. You know? So that's those are some of the things I'm reflecting on because I usually will just drop off if I don't see an ROI, a return on my time
Hmm.
investment pretty quickly,
Hmm.
especially if it's something that I'm not so thrilled to be doing, like marketing. The book
Mm-hmm.
piece, I have a lot of fun writing, so
Mm-hmm.
that's different. But there are days when I choose, oh, I'm going to go for a long walk with Spike, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to yoga and then go have coffee with a friend. It's like, no, you need to just put this in your calendar, this deep work on a consistent basis and just show up even when I don't feel like it. So those are some of the things I'm going to lean into for 2026 is leaning into discomfort, discipline and consistency.
I mean, you're already wearing this red dress right now. You're already stepping into your discomfort. You're leaning in the right direction. What I hear you
Oh, this
saying
is
though is
comfortable, Janelle. First of all,
okay.
I'm not wearing a bra and it's four-way
Okay.
stretch and I wear my socks on.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's baby steps.
That's
It's
right.
just the color is out of your comfort zone.
Oh yeah.
I what I hear you saying though is, treating your goals as a priority and then putting some a system around it. It's almost as if treating it kind of like a job where you're
Mhm.
going to have a consistent schedule that you're going to set. And what I love is what Blanca said around showing up. Show up for yourself. Actually, and I think this way about habits that we want to create. I always tell
Mhm.
myself, "Oh, I want to create some really healthy habits." And I think at the heart of establishing a habit is showing up for yourself and having the consistency and the discipline to prioritize yourself or prioritize what you want, because whatever the habit is that you're trying to establish, whether it's getting up earlier or drinking more water or working out or writing that book every day, like a little bit every day, whatever the habit is that we're looking to establish, the most likely the intention is something to better, your situation, better yourself, better your health, better your situation. So it is about investing in yourself and it is about showing up for yourself. And there is something so powerful in choosing yourself consistently. And that's really what you'd be doing if
Mhm.
you do stick to this writing schedule or whatever, any other goals that you have. But if you stick to them, that is choosing yourself over comfort or choosing yourself and your goals over someone else's needs and
Mhm.
desires. So there's just I feel that there's something really powerful in that and showing up for yourself. So I really like that.
I really like how you reframe that into choosing and showing up for yourself.
Hmm.
Well, what about you,
Um,
Janelle? When you reflect back on this year and your
yeah,
intentions for next year?
yeah. I was sitting the other day, just in silence, just thinking about the year 2025 and how it started out with, a new president in the U.S. and just a lot of political drama to start the year off. And with that, with political drama, just came a lot of heightened emotions on a whole spectrum of emotions. And I remember there was a point, probably in maybe around March, where I was starting to get really down in general. I think back even to our conversation last week's episode around the lens through which we see the world and how negative thinking can really cloud the beauty that's around us. And I was in I would say, a pretty dark space at that time. I mean, I don't know that it really showed. I still outwardly smiled and I was pleasant to people in, day-to-day facing people. I was still pleasant, but I would say inside I was feeling a lot of negativity and just feeling really down. And what I'm really proud of is how I worked my way out of that space.
Mm.
And I think what I would, as I reflect on it, what I did was I thought about what I was bringing into my life, kind of like what I was subscribed to, whether it
Mhm.
was through social media or through friendships or through I don't know, any kind of intake of information. Anytime we're bringing stuff in, we're subscribing to it in a way. We're allowing it into our lives. And with social media, it starts to just go on autopilot. Like the same stuff keeps coming into our minds and into our hearts. And so I started shifting what I was what I was subscribing to, really, tangibly from a social media perspective.
Mm.
So I shifted away from political content. I shifted away from the news. I tried to stay as much informed as possible, but not constant news. And I moved towards things that just made me happy, like animal accounts, like cows and donkeys.
Right.
And, I talk about this a lot. Like, you look at an account that is about a donkey and you tell me that that doesn't make you happy. Donkeys are the cutest things ever, and they're so lovely. Yesterday, I found this sea otter account that now I'm obsessed with sea otters. But like, there's just something so pure and innocent about animals that when
Mhm.
I'm watching an animal do its thing, I immediately feel a little bit happier. And I'm not saying that, as humans, we should just remove ourselves from the day-to-day world and just try to, live this fantasy life of Highland mini cows and goats. But I would say, finding a healthy balance of content that just brings pure joy and nothing else. Like, its sole purpose is to just give you a giggle or to bring like a little warmth to your heart. Balance that with the other things that are coming your way. And so, yeah, throughout maybe April, May, June, I started shifting my social media content. I also just started making some new friends. One of the things that I'm really grateful for 2025 is some new friendships that have come into my life. People that really make me laugh and are just so fun to be around, or so fun to message with, or so fun to talk to. And people that have very different lives than me, or very different maybe personalities than I have, and just kind of like feeding off of them, when they say things that maybe I wouldn't say, and it's just so funny. I have really appreciated that, like just some new relationships in my life, and I'm really grateful for that. So as I think about 2026, what I want to keep doing is really monitoring what I'm bringing into my life and what information I'm bringing into my life, and also being open to new friendships and new relationships. Yeah,
Mm.
that's what I'm going to keep doing as I go into 2026.
I love that reflection, Janelle. I
Mhm.
mean, the friends and then the social media. I mean, when did we ever, like, when did it shift where people started listening and watching the news every minute of the day? Like, I
Yeah.
just don't think that's a healthy space to be in. And like you, I was really just feeling down towards the beginning of the year when Kamala Harris didn't win, like millions of other Americans too. And I
Mm-hmm.
was kind of in a funk. And I
Mm-hmm.
recognize I can't be watching the news and then following all these accounts, like news accounts on social media. Like I want to
Mm-hmm.
experience joy or inspiration or something educational on social media, not even if it's like political views that are similar to mine. I don't need to constantly be fed that. And I don't think
Right.
it's healthy for
Yeah.
anyone to be constantly fed their political view. Like
Yeah.
I never see anything on like the Republican side of my
Right.
social media posts. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually thinking I should probably start actively looking, because
Yeah.
sometimes I will look at I'll put on Fox News or something just to
Mm-hmm.
see like, okay, what are the other million of Americans listening
Mm-hmm.
to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you ask the question, when did we start being fed the
Yeah.
news 24 hours a day? I don't know when it started, but what it made me think of is the simplicity of our childhood. And there, this is going to make me sound like an old person and oh, back in the day, things were so great. And now the kids these days, but there is something to it. I think back to our childhood where we spent so much time outside playing, climbing trees, meeting up with friends, riding bikes. I vividly remember there was a point in time in the evening where we sat down to watch the evening news together as a family, and that would be on, but it lasted maybe an hour,
Yeah.
an hour of news. And you could kind of be watching or kind of not be watching. And then there was the family sitcoms, like the
Oh, yeah.
wholesome family TV shows that
Happy
you
Days.
watched. Oh my gosh, I loved Happy Days and the
Yeah.
Fonz and yeah. And
Laverne and
but all
Shirley.
yeah, just good stuff. Three's Company. But then even like Full House and Family
Mm.
Matters and Fresh Prince of
Oh,
Bel-Air.
yeah.
I just think that there were these like pretty wholesome shows that you watched as a family. And yeah, you had to take breaks for commercials. And, it wasn't short, YouTube style or even TikTok style, little bits of information just coming
Yeah.
at us all the time in a rapid succession. And I think that, there's just a lot of harm in the way that we consume content now. So, how might we take back our time and curate a more healthy intake of information? Whether it's for us, I think we start with ourselves, but also for those around us. I think, I still have three kids in the house
Yeah.
and really allow them to intake their information however they want. And I probably should put a little more boundaries around it just to protect them a bit more because they don't know anything different. They don't know a
Mhm.
different way of consuming information. I
Yeah.
do. I know that there's another way that at least, you know, shielded me from a lot of anxiety when I was younger. So
Mhm.
there's a lot to be protecting and putting boundaries around, I think. Hmm.
Well, as we think about 2026, what's your wish for you, your family, the
Hmm.
world?
Yeah, I've had the same wish for most of my life. When I think back to times when, we've talked about religion in the past, you and I, I did grow up in a religious family, but once I got to college, I kind of dropped off of a regular church. However, what I didn't stop doing was kind of praying at night. And I don't like get down on my knees next to the bed and pray. It's just something like as I close my eyes in bed, I think through a variety of things, what I wish for the world, what I wish for people in my life. I envision it. And I kind of think through the same things. I wish for joy and happiness. So I picture people in my life and I wish them joy. I think about animals and I wish them joy in their own version of joy. And then I wish for peace. And really, because as I'm falling asleep, I always wish that everybody else who's also falling asleep can fall asleep peacefully without any fear and and can just have a really good night rest and not be worried about what the next day brings or worried that, if they're an animal, worried that another animal is going to kill them in the middle of the night and eat them, but just like have peace. And I've been using the same thing night after night after night for 40 years. And I'm not even joking. I do the same thing every night. And so my hope as I go into 2026 is kind of the same thing that just people all around the world, of course, my loved ones and people that are close to me, but really I wish this beyond people that I immediately love or care about. I really wish joy and peace for everyone. And that I know that's starting to sound like a holiday card, but there's probably a reason why that's on holiday cards because it is
Exactly.
it is so pure and at the heart of us, I think we all want that for everyone around us. I think we're all born really pure and good natured and want the best for everyone around us. And so when we kind of tap into that around the holidays and this nostalgic time of year, the end of a year, the beginning of a new year, the holidays, family time, and all that, I think we're reminded of the goodness inside of us. And we then extend kindness and empathy and compassion to others. That's probably why a lot of holiday cards are so, wishing you peace, love, and joy, because we do actually want that for everybody.
Mm.
And that's truly what I always want for people. And that's what
I
I'm going
love
into
that.
2026 hoping.
I love that, Janelle. Let's cheers to that.
Cheers.
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 I
Clink.
haven't seen you take one sip of that rosé,
Oh, I have.
and I'm
I
like
have. And
half
I,
done with my hot toddy.
mm. Well, the thing about me is I can't chug anything. I can't drink anything fast, whether it's
Oh,
water, anything. I sip things and it takes me forever. So if I have one cup of coffee or one glass of anything,
yeah.
it'll be the same glass or cup the entire day. I reheat my coffee probably 7 times in a day before I actually, and I don't hardly ever finish it. I actually end up dumping it out, dumping the rest out, but I don't drink very fast.
I
I
am
don't know why.
exactly the opposite. Like, if you put a cold beer in front of me, that first sip, it's like half gone. And I'm like, ooh. And then I'll nurse the rest. But I'm like, wow, I'm a guzzler. Coffee too. That coffee, it just goes down so fast. I'm on my second and third one immediately.
I love that, Danielle. I love that we're so opposite in that and probably in a lot of things, which is why we work. I love that.
Well,
I'm a
I'm
big
so
guzzler.
appreciative of you, Janelle, and the time we get to spend with each other every week. I know we started this as us just connecting, and that's still exactly what we're doing. And
Exactly
the
what we
fact
do.
that we have a handful of listeners who message us and tell us they're having a good time too. I love hearing
Yeah.
that. And yeah, let's wish everyone a peaceful and joyful holiday
Mm.
season and new year.
Yeah, and we
Cool.
will see everyone in the new year on season two. Season
Season two.
two
And
of
maybe we'll
Coffee
have
Unlimited.
guests,
You know
right?
what? That's something to look forward to, listeners. Be on the lookout. Be excited for guest appearances in the
Yes.
season two of Coffee Unlimited with J and D.
I
Yeah.
love it.
All right. Well, if you enjoyed this and you want to be notified about season two, subscribe or don't. It's okay.
We don't mind.
We don't care either way. We're just happy to be connecting, and if you get something out of this, we're really happy about that too. So Danielle, cheers to you. Cheers to our friendship after all these years, and cheers to all the laughs and joy that we've had together.
See, you have to take a sip after that.
Oh,
I saw
yeah.
you just like put it
I
down.
just put it down. Okay, let's take a sip.
This is how I
Cheers.
keep drinking.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.